What's up, y'all? It's Ty. In this video today, we're going to be going over and ranking our top 10 wide receivers right now in college football 25 Ultimate Team, talking about where they rank, how good are each and every one of these guys, and some of the top guys that did not quite make the list. Now, as we do dive into this thing today, if you're new to the channel, please smash that subscribe button. Really do appreciate all of the recent support on the channel. And in just some stats that really do matter, speed really matters. Obviously, route running matters. Height matters. Whether they're a season 4 card and get season 4 abilities matter. There are a lot of things that do matter at the wide receiver position. And as I do dive into them, I'll be talking about them. But just know and realize, a lot of it depends on how you play. For example, do you want a physical receiver? Do you want a wide receiver that's going to make people miss in the open field? Those are a couple of things that I personally do look at quite a bit. We're going to start off at number 10 with the 95 overall Cameron Camper. Now, here's the deal with Cam Camper. I wish this card was faster. That's the first thing I want to say. If he was faster, I'd be way higher on the card. 6'3", 93 speed, 94 acceleration. But look at the rest of the card here. And this is really what I want to get at. 95 catching, good route runner, especially for short route running. Makes people miss in the open field. He's 6'3". He does not drop open passes. And so at the end of the day, is Cam Camper perfect? No, the card does have some flaws. He's not perfect. He's only got 93 speed. However, he is definitely a card that if you pick up should lead you guys to a decent amount of success in this game. I actually picked this card up yesterday because I think I got him for, $250 or something, like a really good value. And I'm like, you know what? For that value, I've got to pick the card up. However, he still is all the way down here at number 10 on my wide receiver list, although I don't mind Cameron Camper. At my number 9, plugging in Xavier Guillory from Arizona State. 94 speed, 93 acceleration, 6'2", good catching. Again, as far as a ball carrier, he's really solid. Does not drop open passes. Another wide receiver that's incredible. I think Guillory is definitely better than Cam Camper. When you're looking at the cards side by side, to me, the real only difference here is that Guillory is a little bit faster. It's really the only difference. Obviously, route running, nearly the exact same. Making people miss in the open field, nearly the exact same. And even the change of direction stat, which does matter. Cam Camper has a slightly better change of direction stat, but it's not by a whole ton. And so for me, if you're looking at some of your better wide receivers in the entire game, you've got to talk about Xavier Guillory as being one of them in this game. Coming in at my number 9. At my number 8 is Tate. Now, I've got a problem with Tate, and I'll talk about it here in a second. But I want to start with the good side of this card, okay? The good side, 94 speed, good route runner, good carrying, makes people miss in the open field, 6'3", very physical. The bad part about this card, he drops open passes. Now, this all goes back to when this card was in the game and I used him in Luther Burden. I like Luther Burden, but he dropped open passes and it drove me absolutely crazy. Imagine you need a 4th down conversion and then they're wide open and drop a pass. It is so annoying. It is so frustrating. So that is definitely a red flag for Tate. However, I still think as far as the overall card is concerned, it's not enough for me to hate him. It's just not. I still think this card is going to be solid for you guys on the field. And I think he still gives you a little bit more stat-wise than Guillory, but both cards really solid. And again, if that really bugs you that he drops open passes, you can find different wide receivers. At my number 7, we're plugging in Mr. Evan Stewart here. Fits my Oregon team chemistry. Obviously, 94 speed, good acceleration. Great short route running. That 95 short route running is super important. Gets open. If somebody wants to play pure man coverage versus you, you put that on in an ability like Cutter, it should be over for the defenses. A good route runner, makes people miss in the open field. To me, as far as the 94 overall wide receivers, Evan Stewart is one of the top 2 in the game. There's one other card that I'm going to plug in here that I like slightly more than Evan Stewart. But if you're looking at Evan Stewart compared to some of these other cards, this card is an absolute beast on this game and definitely is a card that is going to lead you to a lot of success. If you've not used Evan Stewart, you're missing out because the card is an absolute beast. At my number 6, we're plugging in DK Metcalf, a card that I do think is slightly more complete than a guy like Evan Stewart. However, you got to take the good with the bad. So let's start with the good for DK. 94 speed acceleration, great route runner, very physical, good change direction, decent enough juke move. It's not great. The bad part about him, only 84 carrying, only an 83 spin, only an 86 juke move. So, like, as far as making people miss in the open field, he's not going to be as good as Evan Stewart. However, he's going to be able to go get it. You get an advantage on the defense, let's say on a go route. DK Metcalf is fast. He's got a good jumping rating. Like, this card is going to go up and high point the football and go and get it for you guys. So it really is tough because I do think DK Metcalf is your best 94 overall wide receiver in the entire game. Although I do still really like Evan Stewart on this game. At my number 5, we're plugging in Jeremiah Smith, 95 speed acceleration, 95 catching, 97 deep route running, 94 mid. Thing about Jeremiah Smith is just send him on go routes, guys. Send him on go routes. He's one of the fastest wide receivers in the entire game. He's got a great catch, great acceleration, 97 deep route running is crazy as well. Like, it does not get much better than Jeremiah Smith if you want a guy to just run go routes. Now, I will say his abilities aren't great. So if you need wide receivers to get different abilities, Jeremiah Smith's not going to do that. But if you only get so many offensive abilities anyways, and so put those offensive abilities on other people and let Jeremiah Smith just be bare minimum. He is still going to be absolutely elite. He is a card that I had on my squad for a while. I did sell him a little while ago for, like, I don't even know, 700k or something, maybe 800k. I don't know. He's going for 700 right now. But I bought this card for when he was like 400,000 coins in the rush set. Sold them for profit, so I can't complain too much. But when I used Jeremiah Smith, the card was so good for me. Coming in at my number 4 is AJ Brown. Now, here's the deal for AJ Brown. I got him during the rush set. I pulled the BND version of him, so I've got to use him until I can't use him anymore. Here's the situation for AJ Brown. He is really solid. He's just not going to make people miss in the open field. The reason I have AJ Brown ahead of a guy like Jeremiah Smith is because he does get the season 4 abilities. So he gets cutter, he gets takeoff, he gets all of those abilities that are obviously important. Good catching, obviously good speed. This card is really solid in AJ Brown. It just comes down to the sole fact of, yes, stat-wise, Jeremiah Smith is going to be better. Jeremiah Smith is taller. It just comes down to AJ Brown still has the 95 speed, still is going to get open, and still has all of those season 4 abilities, which are super important. Now, is AJ Brown worth the price he's going for right now in this game? Absolutely not. Do want to make that clear. I like AJ Brown, but I do not think he's worth 605,000 coins on this game. Coming in at my number 3, plugging in the 95 overall Travis Hunter. No, the 93 Travis Hunter did not make the list. 95 Travis Hunter, 95 speed, 95 acceleration, 95 deep route running, 92 change direction, but does not make people miss really in the open field. You guys can see the spin move, juke move is pretty low. 6'1", so not super tall. But again, stat-wise, absolutely elite. Gets those season 4 abilities, including that silver takeoff. So for me, with Travis Hunter, I do think he is slightly better than a guy like AJ Brown. I do think he is slightly better than a guy like Jeremiah Smith, at least for me. Again, that's my personal opinion. You guys don't have to agree with that. But when I play against a guy like Travis Hunter, he is very annoying to play against. Now, the bad part about Travis Hunter is the fact that he is 1 million coins. He is absolutely not worth that amount of coins, but I'd be lying to say like Travis Hunter isn't good. He's good. He is just not worth the 1 million coins that he currently is going for on this game. But if you want a guy to get open, Travis Hunter gets open at such an elite level on this game. Coming in at my number 2, we're plugging in Xavier Worthy. Pretty similar to Travis Hunter. Xavier Worthy's just better. Not as tall, but he's just better. 95 speed, 93 acceleration, good route runner, great release off the line, good carrying, good spin, good juke. You look at the 96 change direction as well. It just does not get better than Xavier Worthy. It just doesn't. Like, I'm sorry, when you're looking at the wide receiver position, the only reason my number 1 is going to be, higher than him is just because he's taller. Everything else, as far as stats, as far as everything else about the card, I like Xavier Worthy more. And so eventually, again, when we see an overall bump, Xavier Worthy is going to probably, his value is going to go down. But for now, he is one of my favorite wide receivers in the entire game. Problem is he's 600,000 coins, which is still super expensive. Coming in at my number 1, the best wide receiver in the game right now is the 95 overall Randy Moss card. Now, like I've said already, it comes down to the fact that Randy Moss, simply put, is just taller than Xavier Worthy. So it's tough when I'm supposed to be ranking these cards for me to have Xavier Worthy higher than him. I just can't. Randy Moss is taller. He's got great catching, 96 deep route run, 95 speed, 96 acceleration. Randy Moss is just the slightly better card. However, Xavier Worthy is nearly just as good. The problem with Randy Moss is he's 800,000 coins. And for that price, I just cannot tell you he is worth picking up. So that's going to wrap it up for my video today, guys. All of these cards are incredibly expensive, and that's one thing. The wide receiver positions, it's going to be a position that is expensive all throughout. You're not going to find too many cheap options. So if you have to go down to like the 93 overalls, like there still are some solid options. Even at the 92 overalls, you know, there are definitely guys that I don't mind that you can pick up for a decent value. So do want to say that, but obviously the wide receiver position is one that's tough to fill with really good cards right now. College Football Ultimate Team. That's going to wrap it up for our video. Drop a like on it. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.